Thanks, gentlemen. The Chair will now recognize himself for his opening statement. And I'll begin just by saying that we do have a busy agenda ahead for this year that will address many telecommunications policies topics on both the legislative and oversight fronts, with our next significant oversight hearing scheduled for February 13th on the status of the digital television transition. Just 4 weeks into the Consumer Converter Box program, Commerce Department has almost 4 million requests for coupons worth about $160 million. So it is off to a brisk start. We are also following very closely the ongoing auctions at the Federal Communications Commission of the licenses to the frequencies the broadcasters will be relinquishing as part of the digital television transition. I am eager to see the extent to which the auction actually results in the introduction of new competitors into the marketplace in different regions around the country, as well as the advent of new wireless services, devices, and applications. Initial reports of lagging interest thus far in the so-called D-Block license, a commercial wireless opportunity with a unique public safety mission, is discouraging. The auction is obviously not over yet, and it is still possible for a successful auction of the D-Block license. However, if the auction ends and the D-Block has not met its reserve price, the subcommittee will actively review the parameters of that auction, including an assessment of its various conditions, the reserve price, and the structure of the public safety trust. And it would be my intention, should events at the auction require it, to work closely with FCC Chairman Martin and his colleagues to develop a plan for re-auctioning these frequencies in a way that will foster a new wireless competition and enhance interoperable public safety communications across the country. It is an issue that I know that Ms. Harmon and other members of the committee have an intense interest in. Today's hearing focuses upon public, educational, and governmental services. Historically, the Congress has supported this, ensuring that a portion of capacity on cable systems be reserved for such services, and thousands of communities around the country have used such rights to access cable system capacity to develop and offer television channels for their local communities. With the backdrop of our recent debate last night on media ownership, it is important to keep in mind that these PEG channels represent vital and vibrant voices for localism and diversity in our national media mix. PEG channels today offer citizens the chance to view local government proceedings, local high school plays and sporting events, educational courses, foreign language programming, local civil news and information, programming distributed by armed forces, charities, and local community groups, and other fare. The vast majority of this programming would otherwise not exist on the dial because neither traditional broadcasters nor cable programmers typically develop programming on such a local level or open access to community groups to program time and capacity. As the nation continues to transition to digital television and the march of technology moves ever forward, it is important that cable operators, programmers, and communities work together to ensure that consumer welfare is protected. As we have seen in recent weeks, many cable operators are moving channels, including PEG channels and C-SPAN, in a manner that is drawing consumer complaints. The Congress has long-standing policy interests in safeguarding and fostering diversity and localism, even as we seek to promote more broadband deployment, greater affordability, and the advent of other new services and equipment in the marketplace. Today, we have an opportunity to hear from witnesses about what is happening in the marketplace and obtain suggestions as to how these important policy objectives can be met with the least amount of disruption to consumers. So I look forward to hearing from our witnesses and working with them in the months ahead to ensure that we do, in fact, have a good policy on these issues.